In the harsh wilderness, you have to do what you need to do in order to survive. Whether that's mastering the art of the bow to shoot a bird out of midair, or harnessing the raw power of the spear. Learning how to live on the island is what's going to set you apart from those who live and those who die. My name is Ethan for the Gamer, and today we're going to go over all things food and water in Sons of the Forest. Sons of the Forest is a hardcore survival game, which means food and water are both necessities. Right at the start, you'll probably end up with a couple of MREs and a few soda pops that you can collect from the luggage at the crash site. Again, make sure you're looting all of the luggage at the crash site because there's a lot of important gear that's inside there. But once you run out of those, you're gonna need to source your own food and water. Now, there are a variety of different methods that you can use to acquire food and water throughout the game. Whether it's foraging, hunting, or growing your own food, there's plenty of ways to stay alive on the island. Also, this game is pretty early on, so more will likely be added as the game receives its first updates. First of all, let's talk about water. Water is essential, just like in real life. Your character will become dehydrated if you don't drink, and you'll start taking ticking damage. Thankfully, it's pretty straightforward to get water. Just go to any source of fresh water, make sure it's fresh, so something like a stream, a lake, or a river. Jump into the water and press E to take a big old gulp of it. Now, if you want to bring water with you, what you need to do is look for a 3D printer. Once you find a 3D printer, you can use that to create a flask so that you can take water with you on the move to stay hydrated while exploring caves and underground bunkers. Also, as you do find luggage throughout the game, all across the island, you can find more drinks such as soda and energy drinks inside of those as well. Now let's talk about food. There are loads of different food sources in the game, from hunting small animals to sending Kelvin out to get fish. Now again, at the start of the game, make sure you can collect all the food that you can at the crash site. You'll find candy bars, MREs, and things like that. After that, there are a few different ways you can use to acquire food. One of the easiest and most reliable ways to get loads of food is to set up your base next to some fresh water, like a lake, and then send Kelvin out fishing. He will fish and fish and fish forever, basically until there is a mountain of fish to eat. To do this, just press E on Kelvin to access the notebook, and then tell Kelvin to get fish and drop it here. Another thing you can do is hunt small animals with the bow or spear. You can use the crafted bow or spear to hunt birds, squirrels, turtles, and deer. Just make sure that you cook these on a fire before eating, because cooked food is generally better for you in this game than raw. Less reliable, but something you can do when you're on the go, is to eat berries. Blueberries are edible, but they replenish very little of your health. Some mushrooms as well, like oyster mushrooms, can also be eaten. These are things you can do while you're running through the forest, but they're not super reliable as they don't replenish a lot of your food, so sticking to things like hunting for animals is much more effective. You can also build things like traps so that you can get fish and small animals as well pretty reliably, just depending on where your base is set up at. If you do build your base next to a river, you can use this to make a fish trap and reliably keep a pretty large supply of fish. Another tip is you can build your base on the coastline, as there's pretty much an unlimited supply of turtles there that you can use for food as well. Also, one quick tip, containers respawn their loot after a short time, which means you can return to different POIs to grab more resources, including food. And really, it's as simple as that. That should be all the info you need to know to stay hydrated and fed on the island in Sons of the Forest. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you find it helpful, and make sure you visit thegamer.com for all things gaming, and we'll see you in the next video.